Hello YouTube. Today I will be refuting the most common characteristic that the God of the Bible and essentially every other God on the planet has. And by every other God on the planet, I'm talking about every other God that competes for the theistic majority today, as for example, omnipotence. That is essentially the characteristic I'm going to shoot for today in order to refute, and I will be using this wonderful board behind me in order to prove my point more briefly and in order to express the reason why exactly omnipotence doesn't work and it's a paradox unto itself. So, when addressing today's question of whether God is omnipotent or not, it is really significant to pay attention to the fact that usually when you ask what God can do, people just say, well, God can do whatever, duh, he's all powerful, right? This is essentially the main answer that you get from theists and many other people that believe that God has the trait of omnipotence. So then let's go ahead and ask this further question. Can God create a rock too heavy for him to lift? This is a really important question because it essentially just highlights the main reason why omnipotence is a paradox unto himself. So if this answer is yes, then the answer is he cannot lift it, which results in lack of omnipotence. So when addressing today's question, can God create a rock too heavy for him to lift? And you said yes, then he cannot lift it because it's too heavy, obviously, so this results into lack of omnipotence. So let's readdress the question from a negative perspective. Can God create a rock too heavy for him to lift? With the answer no, that means he cannot create it, which therefore results into omnipotence. So regardless of whether the answer is yes or no, ultimately it results into the same outcome, which is essentially lack of omnipotence. So again, for the final time, when addressing today's question, can God create a rock too heavy for him to lift? If you answer yes, that means he cannot lift it, so this results in lack of omnipotence. If you say no, that means he cannot create it, which again results into lack of omnipotence. So when addressing the main characteristic that the God of the Bible, alongside with any other competent God today shares, is essentially the characteristic of being all-powerful. And this is essentially a real easy way in which you can refute this argument and just tell your Christian friends or your Muslim friends that essentially one of the main reasons why their God doesn't exist is because the paradox of one of their main traits. So this is all. Have a good day.